Welcome to Quantumly Kinky with Veda, where we talk about sex, Chinese medicine, and character development for the multidimensional you.
Episode 24, Yes, Daddy, Radical Acceptance as Erotic Obedience. Welcome back to Quantumly Kinky, my delicious multidimensional beings. This is a space where pleasure is power, surrender is strategy, and the cosmos itself is your Dom. I am your host, SarahVeda, and today we're doing a little bonus episode, a deeper download, if you will, from our third episode on radical acceptance and being seduced by surrender. But this episode, it's not just about letting go. It's about getting taken. It's about the deeper discipline of divine trust. It's about obedience, not to an outside authority, but to the highest version of yourself. To the intelligence of life that wants to fuck you open with alignment. So lean in with me, kneel if you want to, and let's whisper this one deep down into our soul. Sacred obedience and radical acceptance, they're not passive. In fact, radical acceptance is the most powerful act of surrender. It is sacred obedience to the will of your source self. And when you whisper, "Yes, Daddy," to the universe, you're not giving up power. You're giving up resistance. You're opening the door to alignment, more pleasure, and flow. So I want you to visualize this. You're blindfolded by love, bound, not by force, but by frequency. You're kneeling, not in submission to a person, but to your own soul's highest design. And that voice that says, "You can trust me even in the dark," that's your expanded will speaking to you. And you say yes. And watch reality rearrange itself around that yes. Because sovereignty doesn't mean that you say no to everything, but it means that your yes is sacred. So let's let surrender be our biggest strength. Take a deep breath with me. And let's also remember the pleasure of not knowing. You see, our nervous system craves control, but our soul, she wants mystery. She wants to be taken by something bigger. What if the unknown was never a void, but a lover? What if not knowing what's next is the most erotic invitation of your life? What if your next level can only arrive when you stop needing to know what's next. Stop interrupting your own seduction with questions that don't belong. Just breathe and receive. And then we go back to our devotional Dom-Sub relationship with the divine. In any Dom-Sub dynamic, the Dom creates the container, the structure, the boundaries, and the Sub surrenders fully inside of that container because trust is the turn on. And that's the universe. That's exactly what Source does. It's the discipline of divine order. And our role is to be the vessel, to be the Sub that says, use me well, break me open, and reshape me into something even more expanded. Because when we consent to serve the greater frequency, we do not lose power, we amplify it. And this is radical, erotic trust. This is Quantumly Kinky. And this is where we learn to use obedience as frequency tuning. Resistance is distortion. Acceptance is signal clarity. When we're resisting reality, it's like a kinked hose. Nothing flows. Pleasure gets blocked. Your channel jams. But when we accept, when we breathe, and when we surrender, suddenly we're magnetic. We are turned on and we're wet with potential. So let's remember the simplicity of the breath. I want you to kneel right now. Close your eyes, palms up, whisper, I am yours, use me well. Then breathe. Breathe deeply. Feel your nervous system shift into receptivity. This isn't a fantasy. It's a frequency. And lastly, we go back to our basics. Devotion as a daily practice. This week, I want you to play with worshiping the unknown. Practice sacred obedience. So here's your homework. Every morning, remember to ask our 2 questions. Number 1, how may I serve? Number 2, what is your will for me? And I want you to remember that when you are asking our 2 questions, you're using radical surrender to open up to the multidimensional parts of you. And you will hear their guidance clearly. You can even write down what you hear after you ask our 2 questions. And throughout your day, pause and ask, am I resisting right now? If the answer is yes, I want you to breathe, then whisper, yes, Daddy, I accept this moment as it is. It's time to let go, to strip down, to get naked and raw with your life. Let it take you deeper. Because obedience is not oppression. The kind of obedience we're talking about here is liberation through divine trust. And when you surrender to something bigger than your human self, your pleasure becomes devotional. Your body becomes a temple, and your life becomes an erotic ritual of alignment. So this week, say it with me, yes, Daddy. Then serve, surrender, and soften. Let yourself be reprogrammed by the deepest rhythm of all. Because you are not here to control life. You are here to be taken by it.
Thanks for listening to today's episode of Quantumly Kinky with Veda. Stay turned on. Till next time.